Good evening, everyone. Hope I'm audible to everyone. If yes, just quickly put here in the message. Okay, so that I can understand. Super. Yes, I can see the messages here in the chat. Okay, Rohit, good evening. Yes, Siddesh, Mahesh, Diksha. Okay, Twinkle. Yes. Okay, thank you so much for your responses. Your responses are very much important for us. Yes. So, good evening, everyone, once again, and happy Republic Day. Okay, it's a very special day for our country, for our people. Okay, and hope everyone have celebrated this. Okay, this is the national festival basically. Yes, Sneha, happy Republic Day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so before starting with the today's agenda, let's quickly recap what exactly we did in the last session. Okay, and then we can start, okay, with the today's agenda. Yes, anybody can put here in the chat, okay, what we discussed yesterday. Okay, Riddhi, thank you so much. Siddhesh, thank you so much. So yesterday we started with the oops concept basically. Okay, and in oops we finished with the object. Okay, and I think even the theoretical part as well as the programmatical things related to the classes, okay, we have discussed. Uh, but actually how we can create object of a classes, okay, that part we have not discussed. Okay, so can anybody just simply tell me what do you understand through the definition of object? What is object? Yes. What is object? Quickly. Yes, Swati saying object is a real world entity, real entity. Okay, anybody else? Quickly put here in the chat so we can go ahead with the today's topic. Yes, others. Object can be defined and can be exist. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Swati. Uh, we discussed about object, and in the definition, I simply said object is a real world entity which is exist and can be defined. Yes, Swati. Object is a real world entity which is exist and can be defined. It is a thing which we can touch, feel, or the imagine. So there we discussed that every object in a real world has a three things. First one, every object has a attribute, or we call it as the properties. Second one, every object have the behavior. And third one, every object has the identity. Every object has the identity. So we discussed that there can be employee as object, there can be a student as object, there can be we discussed that there can be uh, yes, dog as a object. Then there can be account as object. So there can be anything in front of you which you can touch, feel, or the imagine. So that is nothing but the object we discuss. Then after we discuss that there are the three things. So first thing, attribute, okay, or the properties. Every object has attribute or the properties, and these are the qualitative things about an object. These are the qualitative things about an object which are used to describe that object, which are used to describe that object. So that we, I think, discuss. So for example, if I consider the employee, then employee ID, employee name, employee salary, employee ID, employee name, employee salary, employee designation, and even other features of the employee. Okay, that are the properties, or we can say that are the attributes if I consider the employee. Or if I consider account, then account number, account name, account balance, account bank, account branch, and so on. So the things related to the account, okay, which are used to describe that particular account, okay, these are the attributes or the properties related to the account object basically. Okay, so that we have discussed. Then after we discuss that, okay, there every object has a behavior. And what is the behavior? Behavior is nothing but the means of communication. Behavior is nothing but a means of communication. That means that how two objects will communicate with each other. How two objects will communicate with each other. That may even behavior is nothing but the functions. The behaviors are nothing but the actions performed by that particular object. So for example, we discuss the, if we have the account as object, then in that account object, okay, deposit, withdraw, transfer, uh, uh, check balance, okay, these are the functions basically. These are the functions, so we call it as the behavior. If I say dog as a, we consider as a object, so barking, biting, running, okay, these are the behavior of a dog we can consider as a object. Okay, and then finally we discuss about the identity. Identity is nothing but the uniqueness about an object, that how the particular object is uniquely identified in a group of object. So if we do have the multiple object, if we do have the multiple object, and from that group, that multiple object, how that particular object we are going to identify uniquely. And that is also nothing but the identity we can say. So for example, if we consider the employee, then employee ID is there. If account, then account number is considered as a we can say identity. So it is a very special attribute or the property which is used as a identity that we have discussed. Okay, and identities are very important because in the database language, I said the identity becomes the primary key there into the databases. If it is the relational databases like the Oracle or the MySQL, okay, or the PostgreSQL like that. Okay, so every object, okay, must be the identity. There are some object, okay, which identity. Yesterday we discussed about the dogs example, and we were not able to find out the how we can recognize the particular dog. So there we said that okay, we can have the watermelons in the malls, and even that will be get sold out, but all the watermelons look like the same. So in that cases, how uniquely we are identifying that? So simply we are giving the barcode. Okay, so barcode is for the unique identification, so that okay, we can maintain the record, we can maintain the database related to the that. Exactly same, if we do have the dogs and we are not able to recognize that, then we can just simply put okay the bell to it, and then we can number okay something to that particular dog, even though it can have the same size, same color, same height, same age, same breed, everything. So that is what I, if there are some object which identity is not visible, okay, then we as a programmer, we have to assign the identity to that particular object. So that was the simple understanding needed whenever we are going to consider the object. So that we have discussed theoretically. Okay, this is the very first feature of the OOPS, object oriented programming system. Next we discuss about next we discuss about uh, class. and even you guys have put the proper answers related to that. I just clubbed your answers together and made the definition. There I simply said, what is class? Class is a user defined data type. What is class? Class is a user defined data type which serves as a template, which serves as a template for creating multiple objects, for creating a multiple objects having similar type, having a similar type. So that means what? Okay, that means what? It will serve as a template, it will serve as a mold, okay, for creating multiple objects. So there will be a somewhere class, and from that class we are going to create the object. There will be a somewhere class, and from that class we are going to create the object. But until and unless we are not creating the object from the class, that class is not useful. It is simply the template we discussed there, it is simply the mold. Okay, so from that one only we are going to create the object. So creating the class is important, but until we are not creating the object from that one, it is not useful. And even we said that when we declare a class, when we declare a class, actual memory for the class will be not get allocated, not get allocated. So that was we discussed. Then we have we have we discussed that how the syntax of that class is there. I let me share my screen, and through that one I just want to show you all that how that structure, class structure we discussed there. So here is my notepad. Hope everyone is able to see my screen. So there is like the class is like the mold, sacha template class here. I said okay, and here these are the some objects. So I explain this one through the example of Ganpatis. Exactly same here. I declare the class. Okay, class declaration will be exactly same. Public class, class name, opening bracket and a closing bracket, and in that opening and closing bracket in between we are going to specify the data members. Data members are nothing but, remember, data members are nothing but the attributes or the properties if we are considering that as an object. Then methods or the member functions, these are the simply functions, okay, or the behaviors related to the object we discuss. And then we can have the block unnamed blocks, even that is possible. Okay, to write that one as we go ahead. As we go ahead, I'm going to show you that how it will be the blocks will be get created. So this was the very basic syntax, okay, we discussed there. And then as an example, I just written like a public class employee. In that one, employee id, employee name, and a salary. Employee id, employee name, and a salary I written. And then display or the get salary, these are the two functions, or in Java we always call it as the methods. We always call it as the methods that we have discussed. So this is what the declaration of a class. So when you are declaring a class, actual memory for the data members will be not allocated. So that employee id, employee name, and a salary, there we have specified. So actual memory for that employee id, employee name, and a salary will be not get allocated if I am declaring the class. Okay, and remember which are the data member. These are inside the class but outside the method. So method display and the method get salary. So these employee id, employee name, and the salary, these are the outside the method and inside the class. These are the part of a class. These are the part of a class, but not inside the method. And these are the specially the data members or the class variables, basically we call it as. Okay, then as we declare a class, from that class basically we are going to create the object. Like we have the mold of the Ganpati, and from that one we are going to create the actual Ganpatis. We are going to create the actual Ganpatis. So like that one, okay, I do have explain here the syntax to create the object. And there was the class name, object name is equal to new class name. Class name, object name is equals to new, okay, we can say the class name here. Okay, so here I just created employee emp1 is equal to new employee, employee emp2 is equal to new employee, and employee emp3 is equals to new employee. So this is the basic syntax. This is the basic syntax, okay, that how your uh, objects will be get created. So up to this one we have discussed. Any question, any doubt so far, whatever we have discussed? Yes. Yes. Any question, any doubt? If no, then you can put message here in the chat. No. You have the question, then you can put here in the chat or you can ask. Okay. Okay, Mahesh. Thank you. Diksha, thank you. Okay, Riddhi. Thank you. Okay, super. No problem. If you have the question, you can put here in the chat. Okay, we can discuss that too. But now I am going to discuss a very important thing. If you understand this, okay, then your programming life is much more easier. Okay, so we are going to deep dive in the object creation statement and how exactly the memories internally get allocated. Okay, so just I'm just going for the notepad. There will can just simply observe here. Hope everyone is able to see the notepad screen. Yes, anyone can simply put here in the chat so I can understand. Okay, yeah, thank you, Twinkle. Yeah, so if I have to create the class, okay, we say that we should have write public, okay, as a keyword, class as another keyword, and then we can write a class name. Okay, and then opening and a closing bracket, opening and a closing bracket. So public class name, opening and a closing bracket here. Remember, Java is a case sensitive programming language. Whatever you guys are writing, okay, uppercase, lowercase, so it will be a differentiated. So entire public keyword I just have put it as a small, class is also the small, but a class name I am writing as a first letter, I'm putting as a capital letter, other characters are the smaller one, and then again the next word's first letter is also the capital one, so like that one. So we will discuss about the naming standards too. So class name always start with a capital letter, remember. Class name always start with a capital letter, and method name and a variable name, method name and a variable name always start with a small letter. Okay, so class name capital letter, method name small letter, okay, or the variable name also start with a small letter. But in all the three cases, if there are the multiple words, if there are the multiple words, then each next word's first letter should be capital. So for example here, okay, names is, there are the two words, okay, first letter is capital because this is the class name, okay, and next word's first letter is capital because I said if there are the multi words, then each next word's first letter must be capital. So that is the reason I just have given here as a like this. And then inside that one you can have the data members, that means that these are the properties basically. Okay, and then we can have the functions. Okay, in a Java we call it as the methods, in a Java we call it as the methods. So that are the important thing. Okay, this is the class. As we created the class, then finally we are going to create a object. And how you can write class name, okay, object name is equals to new and a class name. You can see, okay, I whenever even writing the syntax here, there too I'm just following the what is obj name. So this is the variable basically, this is not actual object, this is the variable. So first letter of that one I have put it here as a small letter, and then we have the two words, one is obj and another one is the name. So n I have put it as a capital. So either it is a variable or it is a class or it is the method. if there are the multiple words there, each next word's first letter, each next word's first letter must be the capital one. Okay, that is what an important understanding is that. Now I want to create a, okay, class as a public class employee, public class employee, opening and a closing bracket. And in that opening and a closing bracket, we can just simply write here the data members. So for example, I can write an integer employee ID. Then I can write a string employee name. And here I can write a double salary. You can observe here the, even I am giving the name employee ID, employee name, and a salary. These are the variables. And I said variables first letter should be a small one. So E is a small. Here E is also small, and here salary is S is also small. But as a EMP and ID, these are the two words. So IDs I should be capital. EMP and the name, these are the two separate words. So I have declared it as a capital. So all these are called as a data members, because they are going to store the data. They are going to store the data. And in that one, I can have the method. So public, right now just try to understand here. I'm writing the method as a public void display, public void display. This is my method, and in that one you can write any code if you want. Okay, and even I can write a public. Okay, only this one method I have written assume. So in this class employee, I do have the 3 data members and one method as a display. There can be any number of data members. There can be any number of data members, and there can be any number of methods. There can be any number of methods. So display is a method, okay, or we call it as a function also. And these are the data members over here. Okay, but remember, data members are always declared inside the class. So class start with this one, okay, and end here. Okay, and this, okay, inside that one only we have written these 3, but these are the outside the method. Remember that part important. Okay, because for better understanding, we should understand this, what is exactly the location of this. Okay, these are also called as a class variables. These are also called as a class variables, basically, because these are the part of a class. Okay, but not inside the method. Okay, and together either it is the data member or it is the method. Together, either it is the data member or a method, we call it as a member of a class. We call it as a member of a class. So this is all these are the, all fours are the members of a employee class we have written. But this entire thing is called as a declaration of a class. So when we are declaring the class, whenever we are creating the class, actual memory for that employee ID, employee name, and salary is not created completely. Okay, it will be not created. That complete understanding is needed. So when exactly the object will be when exactly the memory will be get allocated for employee ID, employee name, and a salary. So that part is very much important understanding. So here I can simply say here, that will be a note. Okay, so memory for data members will be allocated will be allocated will be allocated when we create a object of a class. When we create a object of a class. And there we discuss that how we are going to create object. So simply class name, okay, object name is equals to new, okay, class name. So in our case, we have the class name as an employee. Okay, single word employee, and there I'm writing emp1 is equals to new, okay, employee. So this is actually, okay, this is actually the statement, okay, which is used to create an object of a class. Like that one, we have written that emp1, emp2, emp3, emp4, emp5, emp6. Like that one statement we can write while creating the object. But very important thing I'm going to tell you here. Okay, this entire object creation statement I am going to divide in the two steps basically. What are the two steps? So same thing I can achieve like this one. I am writing or. Okay, I'm just writing or. So here I can write the employee emp1 semicolon. What I written? Employee emp1. That means what? The portion of this entire statement, this one. Okay, I have written the separately in a one line and a semicolon. So employee emp1. Okay, and then this new employee part is there, so that I can write separately like this. emp1, which is already we have created here, is equals to new and employee. And through this one, what I try to do, okay, I just try to consider this one part is the separate one. New employee, this is the separate part, and employee emp1, this one is the separate part. This one is the separate part, basically, we can just simply understand here. Okay. So what exactly going to happen if I am writing like this one? If I'm going to write like this one, so that I want to show you here. Okay, so I just go to the memory. Okay, I just write here the new, or I don't want to save anything, so I just write here. Okay, separate paint I will create. Okay, in that one, you can simply understand here that okay, there will be this one statement which I have written here. I'm just making this bigger so that everyone is able to see this. Okay, employee emp1, that is the one statement, entire statement, and there is another one statement basically. Okay, I have written. So through this one, what is getting happen exactly, that we want to understand. Okay, so here I'm just trying to draw one picture. Okay, I'm just trying to draw one picture, and here you can just see this is okay, entire my page I can consider as a memory. Okay, that will be a RAM memory. Okay, so this is the RAM is random access memory of your machine. RAM, it have the multiple sections. Two important sections there are. First one is a stack. Okay, and there is another one section, important one, we call it as the heap. Okay, so this heap section is called as a dynamic section. Dynamic section. So that means that the dynamic memory will be allocated. Dynamic memory will be get allocated inside the heap section, and the static memory, okay, temporary memory will be get allocated, okay, inside the stack. Okay, there are other regions, other sections too, but these are the two sections I'm going to use. Okay, in case of a object creation statement. So here you have to understand. Okay, here you have to understand, if you are writing this employee emp1, if you are writing employee emp1, what is going to happen? What is exactly going to happen, that you need to understand here. So if I'm writing employee emp1, employee emp1, so in that, actually memory will be get allocated like this one. So somewhere inside the stack, somewhere else one block will be get created, and name of that block will be emp1. Name of that block will be emp1. So how it is get happen? Because of this line number 1 only, employee emp1. So here we can simply understand emp1 is a variable. emp1 is a variable of type employee, That means that, okay, here sometimes we write here integer sum. Okay, integer sum. What is sum? Sum is a variable of type integer. Sum is a variable of type integer. So it is like this one. EMP1. What is EMP1? EMP1 is a variable. EMP1 is a variable of type employee. EMP1 is a variable of type employee only. Yes. So if this statement I have written, okay, the actual memory will be like this one will be allocated, and name of that memory is EMP1. Name of that memory is EMP1 like this. Okay, so this is the in short, okay, will be get happen when I am trying to write inside, okay, like employee MP1, and it is get happen inside the stack. Okay, now you will getting that what is exactly the difference there. Okay, so EMP1 will be get happen. Now if you go to the new employee, this actually new is used to allocate memory dynamically. New is used to allocate the memory dynamically. So if I am writing a new employee, so actual memory for the data members present in an employee class. Okay, already we have written here the employee. Already we have written inside here employee, and in that employee class, okay, what are the data members I have written? So employee ID, employee name, and a salary. Employee ID, employee name, and a salary. These are the three data members I have written over here. So once I created the object of a class, okay, by using a new employee, actual memory for that will be get allocated. Actual memory for that one will be get allocated. That means what, somewhere else, okay, it will create a block like this one. Okay, and there will be a three sections. Why three sections? Because inside the employee class we have the three data members. If there are the two data members, only two sections will be get created. If there are the 10 data members, 10 sections will be get created. But here in my case, okay, I do have the three, so it will create the three, and in that one this will be a employee ID, then we do have the employee name, and then finally we do have the salary. We do have the okay. So here you can observe EMP1. So when I'm writing new employee, when I'm writing, it will create a block like this one. It will create a block like this one, and it have the three section: employee ID, employee name, and a salary. And if everything is fine, okay, the reference means what, one type of address only. Reference of this newly created block will be get assigned into the EMP1. Will be assigned into the EMP1. That means that if I try to display the EMP1, I will not display, I will not get the data. I will get the reference of that block which is allocated inside the heap. And because of that, okay, now this EMP1 will points to this one. This EMP1 will points to this one. This is exactly get happen. This is exactly get happen. Okay, when I'm writing a employee EMP1. Okay, now if I have to add the records inside this one, okay, if I have to add the records inside this one, so I can just simply write here, okay, employee ID 101. Okay, here I have the employee name as a Ram, okay, and I do have the salary as a 60 like this one. So this is entire, okay, I have the records, okay, I do have the records here, okay, that will be get simply allocated here. Okay, so 101 RAM and a 60. 101 RAM and a 60. So one object, that one entire object is going to store one record. So RAM's record is been stored in that particular object, EMP1. Okay, so if you need to store another record, you need to store another record. Okay, so what you are going to do? You have to write employee. Okay, you can just write a EMP2 is equals to new employee, and meaning of both is exactly same, huh? Meaning either I'm writing a two statement or the single statement. Either I'm writing a two statement or a single statement. Meaning of that one is exactly same, we can say. Meaning of that one we can say exactly same. So I'm just simply employee emp2 is equal to new employee. If I'm writing like that one, just you have to understand new employee that will allocate the memory. New employee that will allocate the memory inside the heap. Okay, like this one. Exactly same. It will be like this one only. Okay, like this. And somewhere else that emp, for the emp the memory will be get allocated. Name of that I can just consider here the emp2. Okay, and here we can have the employee id. Employee id. I can have the employee name. Okay, and I can just write here, we can have the salary. Exactly same like this one will be get allocated somewhere else here. Okay, I am just going to write this. Section 1 for employee ID, section 2 for employee name, and section 3 for the salary. And if everything is fine, okay, then it will be create like this one. So this is the emp2. In that emp2, I can just have the record. I can have the record like here. I'm just putting 102, 102. I can have here the sham. Okay, and we can have here the 65, like this one third record. So as many record you want. If you want 1000 records, so how many object you have to create? You have to create a 1000 object. If you need the 10,000 records, so definitely you need the 10,000 object, because one object is going to store the one record. One object is going to store the one record only. Remember that. And hence now if I need the third one object too, so I'm writing employee. Okay, emp3 is equals to new, and I can just simply write a employee. This is get completed semicolon. Okay, and my third employee is there. Again it will be goes here, it will create a block like this one somewhere else. Okay, inside the heap memory, yeah, it will be create a block like this. Okay, small block here to store the reference or the address of that. I can call here it as emp3. Okay, and you can give any name for that, but here there will be an employee id. Okay, there will be an employee name, and finally we do have the salary. We do have the salary, like that one will be get allocated. If I say sections, so very first section is for employee id, second section is for the employee name, and the third section is for the salary. Okay, so I can just simply or if this is fine, okay, then that if this block is allocated successfully, then this reference will be referring this one exactly. And this is referring means what? This is referring means what exactly? Okay, that means what, this address will be get stored. But in Java, we don't call it as address, because if we are calling it as address, then there must be the pointers, and pointers are not there into the Java, which is there into the C and C++. Those are learning the C and C++. They can feel that pointers are little difficult. Okay, they can see, but because of that difficulty level, that ek tara, don tara, tin tara, stars, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, like that one, so that have been removed from the Java. It is not there, and hence I'm not calling it as address, but it is the address like thing. I call it as the reference here. Okay, and there I'm just going to put here, okay, that 103. Okay, then we have the jam. Okay, and I just say here 75. So this is how, okay, exactly the memory is get allocated if I am writing the statement, okay, like this one. So emp1 is not exactly the object in my definition. Emp2 is also not an object. Emp3 is also not an object. Emp3 is not also object. What are the object? Object are these blocks which are allocated inside the heap. Object are these blocks which are allocated, okay, which are there inside this. Object are these blocks basically which are there inside the heap, and reference of that one will be stored inside the employee 1, employee 2, employee 3. Okay, so what I can say, employee 1 is a variable of type employee which refers to that object which having the record 101 ram 60. emp2 is again the variable of type employee which is referring the record 102 sham 65, and emp3 is a variable of type employee again which is referring the third one record having 103 jam and 75 like this one. Okay, so this is basically the object creation. So there, if you understand this, okay, yesterday's session we observed this is the mold, and from that one we created the multiple object, and all will have the exactly same structure, exactly same here. Okay, from the class I created three object, and all these three object have exactly same structure. Okay, like all these have the employee id, employee name, and a salary. Employee id, employee name, and a salary. Employee id, employee name, and a salary. So this is how the object will be get created from that template employee. Employee is the template class, that entire class is the template, and from that one actual object will be get created. But who is ram is employee, who is sham he is also employee, who is jam he is also the employee. So that means what, that means what, from the employee as a class I created the multiple employee as a object, and all that object have the exactly same structure. And hence, okay, I said in the definition, what is the, what was there into the definition, I said what is class. Class is a user defined data type. Okay, we already discussed there are the standard data type, there are the primitive data type. Okay, but like integer, okay, float, character, strings, like that one we discussed. But there is another one data type, okay, that is the user defined or the non-primitive data type. So class comes under that. There are some other data types too, which are the non-primitive or which are the custom data type or which are the user defined data type. So here employee is a user defined data type. So here we discuss what is emp1. emp1 is a variable of type employee, and what is employee, it is a class, and class employee I have created. So it is I created, so it is a custom or the user defined data type, and having the variable emp1, emp2, emp3 like this one. So in the definition, class is a user defined data type is proved, okay, in the this statement only. Okay, then it serves as a template. It serves as a template. Okay, it serves as a template for creating multiple objects. It serves as a template for creating a multiple objects having a same type basically. So you can observe here, you can observe here, okay, all the objects, you can observe here all the object created from that employee class are looking exactly same, are looking exactly same here, you can see. So that means what, this emp, employee first one, second one, third one, okay, these are exactly same, but these are created from that employee class. These are created from the employee class. So employee class have already that employee id, employee name, and a salary, and that is the reason memories get allocated only for 3. If in this one there were the 4, 5, 6, 7 or the 10 data members, then memory for that one will be get allocated there. Memory for that one will be get allocated there. So exactly memories get allocated according to the employee class. That means what, from the class, and hence class is a serves as a template. Class is a serves as a template. Class is a serves as a mold. Class is a serves as a data type for creating a multiple object having a same type basically. Okay, so that is the thing basically we need to understand here. Okay, now we are coming to this emp1, emp2, emp3 and this actual object. Remember, heap memory, the objects are allocating memory inside the heap, and heap memory is a dynamic memory. Heap memory is a dynamic memory. Dynamic means what? Dynamic means what? Okay, even memory for that one is allocated at a runtime. First thing, memories get allocated for that at a runtime. That is the first thing. And second thing important about that is what? Second thing important about that is what? That memory is a dynamic memory which is available in the entire application till it is not deleted. If you do have the reference available, if you do have the reference of that memory available, then that memory will persist. This, it is not immediately get deleted. But what is the memory? Whatever the memory, okay, it is there. Whatever the memory it is there, whatever the memory it is there inside the stack, okay, that will be get immediately deleted as soon as the scope of that is get finished. So this is the, if that means that if I have declared that one inside the one function, so as execution of that function is get done, this memory will be get immediately deleted. So that we are going to discuss, or I'm going to show you that practically. Okay, so before going ahead, okay, any question, any doubt? If you have any questions, any doubt, please put here in the chat, or you can just put here as a no. Thank you, Sneha. Yes, thank you, Swati. Hope everyone it is clear. If it is clear, just put a message here clear in the chat. Okay. Yes, thank you, Riddhi, Priyanka. Just put a clear message here in the chat. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Siddesh. Thank you, Riddhi, Priyanka, Sneha, Diksha. पाणी घेऊन येतो का कुठून तरी? संपलंय पाणी, प्यायला पाणीच नाही. तुझी वाट पाहतोय केव्हाचा. Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your responses. Okay. So if it is clear to everyone, then I'm expecting the question from you. Okay. Do you hear that? By observing this one, you understood that employee ID, employee name, and salary. Employee ID, employee name, salary, employee ID, employee name, salaries. That means that memory is get allocated for these three. But if you observe this method, public void display, memory for this method is not get allocated. Memory for this method is not get allocated. Yes. So can anybody tell me when memory for the display will be get allocated? Yes. When memory for the display is allocated. Display is the function. Display is the method. And I shown you here in the picture that if object is created, okay, memories get allocated only for the data members, but not for the method. Okay, Sneha is saying when we insert the data. Okay. Yes, others. No one? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sneha, for your reply here. Okay. Others, no worries. Okay. I will tell you here. See, as I said, when I create an object of a class, it allocate only memory for the data members. It allocate memory only for the data members. Okay. But not for the methods, not for the functions basically. So remember here, memory for functions, memory for functions. Okay, here I'm just writing in the below. Okay, memory for functions, memory for functions, or we say methods, we call it as the methods. Okay, memory for functions or a method is allocated, is allocated, is allocated when we invoke, or we call it as a call, when we invoke or call method. So whenever we are calling that method, whenever we are calling that method, memory for that method is get allocated, and it is automatically get deleted. It is automatically get deleted. It is automatically get deleted. It is automatically get deleted as the execution of that method is done. When execution come, memories get allocated. Even it is in the stack, not in the heap. If you have the new inside that one, so then only it will goes to the heap. But if without a new, if I am allocating anything, okay, that will allocate inside the stack. And as soon as the execution of that one is done, execution of that one is done, then it will go back. That means that it will remove that one. So hence you have to remember, and that is the reason here into this picture, okay, I have not shown the memory for the display. It is the data member. It is the data member. It is the method. It is the function. It is the behavior basically. And for that one, memory is not get allocated in the object. It will be allocated as we invoke that one and removed once execution of that one is get done. Okay, so that is the basic understanding is needed, okay, to go ahead. So I just want to show you this all the things practically. So I'm just going here to the notepad. Okay, so since tomorrow I am not going to show you all these things through the notepad. Okay, I'm just going to introduce you with the ID. Okay, Eclipse ID or the STS ID, okay, or the IntelliJ. Okay, that from these three, one of the ID I'm going to use. Okay, I will show you how you can work with that, because in a industry, in a companies, okay, you have to work inside the IDs. Okay, and IDs are very much important, useful basically. Okay, many things we don't need to do manually in case of a, in case of IDs. So, and in the industry standard, okay, we should have to use the IDE. But as we are very basic to the programming, okay, we are just simply starting to the programming, and that is the reason, okay, I shown you everything on the notepad. But definitely since tomorrow, okay, I have to work with IDs. So I think I already have given some steps related to install the Eclipse. Okay, so if you have installed in your machine, that will be a good. If you don't have installed, you can simply install that. I will again show send you that steps to work with that, so that, okay, so that it will be a very easy, okay, with work me. And even practically everyone have to try. So it is not only that you are listening the session. Okay, Java is not for the listening. Java is not only for the listening. You have to practice. You have to practice. So whatever the thing we are discussing, that you need to try by your own. If you are trying by your own, then only it will be get fitted into this, and then it will be a permanent. That means that it will be there into the heap. Otherwise, if you are not trying practically, okay, that will be goes into the stack, and one session is done. Okay, or it may be there for the next 10 days, but after that 10 days all the sessions have been done. Okay, so it will be get removed, it will be get deleted from the memory. Okay, so don't make it as a stack. I want it as a heap. Okay, so till you are alive, till that time, okay, everything should be in your this one. Okay, that I'm expecting. And if you want such kind of things, you have to do it practically. You have to do it practically. And nowadays even interviews will be not only the like they will ask the question and you have to answer. No, it is not like that. One nowadays interviews are happening, interviewer can ask you to write the code. Interviewer can ask you to write the code. So in that cases you must be very much comfortable by doing practical things, trying by your own. And if you have not done but concept wise you are clear, but you don't need, you are not ready to write the type the code, okay, write the code. And because of that one your selection can be get cancelled, you can be get rejected, or you may get the multiple rejections. So it's request, okay, any programming language or all the programming language, Java is not going to work when you are only thoroughly going, okay, you are attending the session only through the mobile. Okay, I want everyone should try it practically, okay, by the system. No doubt those don't have the systems, okay, those don't have the laptops, computers, okay, they can learn now in these live sessions, okay, and they can try practically once they go to the colleges, if you are the college student, okay, or if you are the working professional there too, in your company machine system, you can try that. So that is the recommended thing. But please, okay, try everything practically. Okay. So coming back to here, I just want to write the class already. We have everything related to that class. Okay. So I'm just going to copy and paste this one. So I'm just copy this public class employee, control C. Here I'm going and I just paste here. So public class, this one I written here, integer employee ID, string employee name, double salary, and public void display. Okay, like that one. And in that only, okay, you have to write a public, public, static, void. We have discussed that. Okay, whenever you are writing the main, you are going to write like this one. No doubt, I'm going to explain this one. Okay, again like this. But anyways, whenever you are writing this, okay, main, it will be like this one only. So that is what I'm just going to write here. Okay, I will make it bigger little so that you can able to see this. So public class employee, opening bracket and closing bracket I have written. Okay, in that one I do have the employee ID, I do have the employee name, I do have the employee salary. Okay, public void display. In a display I'm going to write something here. Okay, so system dot out dot println, nothing will be there, println. In that one, in a double quotation I can just write in a display, in a display. Okay, that is only I'm just going to write it is the semicolon. Here I'm going to write okay, inside the main, public static void main string args of array, opening bracket and closing bracket, and this entire class it is get done. Okay, so in this one nowadays, if before this program everything we have written inside the main, but now I have written the employee class separately. Okay, and even this main I can write in a separate class. This main I can write inside the separate class. I will separate that one too, but for sake of understanding I'm just simply putting over here. Okay, and you know that execution of a code, execution of a program always start from the main. So even though I have written the display, okay, even I have declared the class employee purpose, but execution control will comes inside the main only. Execution control comes inside the main only. So here, okay, if I'm writing system dot out dot println, this one only I'm just copying, control C, control V, and I'm just writing in main. Okay, we have the in main, and that is what we can say start. It is okay, at the starting only I have written this. So inside the main, okay, at the beginning only I have written this one. Okay, after that one, execution control you need to understand here. Okay, in this one I have to create an object of a class. Okay, so I'm going to write that one in a single statement. Employee emp1 is equals to new, okay, employee. So this is what the object creation statement, okay, I had done. So you know that emp1 will have the data. emp1 will have the data. Okay, then after that one, I have to set the values over here. Okay, up to this one, you know what will happen to this one. If I'm writing that one, that block will be get created. But in this block, actually, you don't know how the data is get assigned. That 101 RAM 60 or 102 SHAM 65, 103 JAM 60, how it goes there. Nitin sir, you have not written anything for that one. Okay, I till that time I was supposed to show you that one too, but now I'm going to show you that how exactly you can assign the values in that. How you are going to assign the values in that. So for that one, you can just simply see, okay, as we have written this one, okay, only empty object will be get created. Empty object will be created inside the heap. Okay, and reference of that one will be get stored into the emp1. Okay, reference of that one will be get stored inside the emp1 basically. But now I want to set the values inside that. So how you are going to set? So actually, if I have to access your data members, I have to access your data members, employee ID, employee name, salary, okay, or the display. Compulsory, I need object, okay, with a dot operator. I need the object with a dot operator. I need an object with a dot operator. I need an object with a dot operator. So how you can do that? So very simply, I am just going to write a emp1 dot employee ID is equals to 101. emp1 dot employee ID is equal to 101. And that is the reason that, okay, it is there. It is there, okay, 101, it is been assigned there. It is 101, it is assigned there. Okay, sorry for disturbance here. Okay, so here emp1 dot employee ID is equal to 101. If I'm writing like that one, so that memory, that emp1's memory, okay, will get that 101. Will get that 101. Exactly same. If I'm writing a emp1 dot, okay, employee name is equals to, okay, I just say here I'm just writing a RAM. Okay, emp1 dot emp1 dot employee name, and that is RAM, and that is the reason RAM is get assigned there. Okay, exactly same. I'm writing emp1, okay, dot salary, okay, is equals to, I'm just writing a 60. Okay, and that 60 will be get assigned. So this is how, okay, I can do that. So object name, object here, object name with a dot operator, and the members I can write. Exactly same. If you want to write like this one, emp1 dot display, emp1 dot display, and this is the method. So method always call like this is the method call. This is the method call like that one. So I have written like this. Okay, so this is the method call basically. emp1 dot display, emp1 dot display, and through that one, okay, we can just do this. So this is for the one object I created. I just can simply save this and we'll try to run. I control yes, this control yes. Okay, it goes there into our, okay, free Java masterclass location only. And there I'm just going to write, okay, name of class. Okay, whatever the name we already know. if I have to save the file, I have to save with the class name. So we have the class name as employee. So capital employee dot Java only I have written. Okay, and I can just simply save this. Okay, once I saved that, I can just go to the CMD. Okay, I have to execute that. So cd slash okay d colon. Okay, I do have the E, I think E colon, and in the E, we do have the CD free Java master class. Okay, this is, and inside that one we have to I am directly Java. Okay, you do have the employee dot Java. I'm not going to compile that because you know by Java employee dot Java you can directly start the execution of that. If there are some errors, no doubt it will be able to compile and show you that particular error. So I'm just going to enter, and you can observe. Yes, in main start and in a display. You can see in main start that message we got, then it goes into the display, and we got that in a display message there, which I use system.out.println. But I'm not able to see the values 101 RAM 60. Okay, because we have not displayed that. We have assigned the values. But if we want, okay, that must be get displayed. Okay, so for that purpose, what I can do here, I can just simply, what I can do here, I can simply display that one. So after the display, I'm going to write a system.out.println. Same again, I'm just copying this one. Control C, Control V. Okay, and inside the bracket, I can just write a emp1 dot emp1. Okay, emp1 dot. What I want, employee ID. Okay, so emp1 dot employee ID. What is I have assigned already 101. Okay, then I want exactly that should be displayed here. So Control C. I'm just going here, Control V. Okay, here I just write employee name, and exactly same here. We can write emp1 dot salary is there. Salary is there. Okay, that I have written here. Okay, all these three statements, okay, display separated. So this is to assign the value, that will be not displayed anything. Okay, but here basically when I'm writing this println statement, that is going to display what is exactly there into that particular object. I saved, okay, this one, and again went here. Okay, and there you can just go to the Java employee.java. Okay, rerun, and now you can see the little change in the output. First in main start, okay, then in a display, okay, then 101 RAM and a 60.0, that three employee ID, employee name, and a salary, these three values get displayed. So first employee object, okay, that have stored the one record, basically that employee record, RAM's record they have stored here. And in this one, if you observe the execution, you can see execution of a program anyway. If you have anything multiple statement, but execution is always start from the main. Execution of a code, execution of a program, execution, okay, of your code always start from the main. So here, okay, what is the very first statement I have written? So that is the system.out.println in main start. So that is the reason in the output we got that message. That yes, okay, here you can observe, here it is started. I just try to shift this one like this. So you can see what is there here. You can observe in system.out.println. Okay, we do have in main start. We have the in main start, and that is the reason this, okay, first statement, okay, will be get executed. After that one, what is there? Employee emp1 is equal to new employee. This statement will be get executed, and what does by this statement? It goes here into the actual memory, that is the RAM. Okay, it allocated this block, okay, empty block, and then emp1. If block is successfully created, it returns the reference, and that is been collected by emp1. that is been collected by emp1. So emp1 is pointing this, okay, but without values. So that is done by the very this one second statement. Then after that we are writing emp1 dot employee id, emp1 dot employee id, okay, and there I just assign the 101. So that is the reason, okay, that 101 goes there. Okay, exactly same. Okay, we have written the emp1 dot employee name, that is the ram, and here I got that, okay, the ram is there into this one. Exactly same. Okay, I have written here emp1 emp salary, that is the 60, and the salary is been assigned here. Okay, so entire thing is ready, object is ready, and because of that I just went here and I try to display emp1 dot display. Actually this is the function method, so this is get called. So called means what? As execution come from here, okay, then goes to this emp1 dot display. As soon as it is come over here, from this statement execution control automatically goes to this display. There it execute whatever we do have. Okay, whatever we do have, that will be get executed in our case. Okay, that display is get displayed over here. So display, okay, I just say one statement, then it is the second statement. Okay, if I say another statement, so all the statement whatever I have given there, okay, that line by line will be get executed. Okay, because of why I have written emp1 dot display. As soon as I have written emp1 dot display, execution control goes there, line by line, every statement 1 2 3 that will be get displayed. And as soon as it get this closing bracket, you know that this opening and a closing bracket, that means what? The execution of main is done, display is done, so it will come back to this statement. Okay, to this statement, and then below whatever we have written, okay, emp1 dot employee id, emp1 dot name, and emp1 dot salary, that I am trying to display, that I am trying to display there. So I just saved again, and we can just simply again observe the output. Okay, it will be exactly same we will get. Okay, you can see. Okay, in main start, then in a display 1, display 2, display 3, then 101 ram and 60. Okay, that output get occur over there, that output will get occur there. So this is the basics related to this one that we must understand, that we must understand over here. Okay, so it is related to the one object. I have created only one object and assign here the data related to that. But if I need the multiple records, then exactly the same, I can just write another, I can create another one object. Okay, or I will type here. Okay, so that you can understand here. I'm just going to write emp or employee emp2, or if we want to be created in a two step, I will create like this emp2, and then emp2 is equals to new. Okay, and I'm just writing here the employee. So second object I created, okay, because I need to store the second record. Okay, and in that one, if I have to assign, I can write emp2 dot employee id is equals to 102. Okay, then emp2 dot emp2 dot employee name, okay, is equals to, here we can have the sham, okay, semicolon, and here exactly emp2 dot, I do have the salary, and in that one I'm just writing a 65. So this is what I created the object, second one object. That means that memory will be get allocated inside the stack as well as heap, and then this data I have assigned. After assigning that data, I want to display that. So to display that, control C, I'm just putting, and here I can V the control V. But here I need to write emp2 dot employee ID, emp2 dot salary, employee name, and emp2 dot salary. Control yes, if I did, and again go to the notepad, try to display this one. You can observe at the last. Okay, first record employee 101 ram 60, and the second record 102 sham 65. That means what? As many object we are creating, as many object we are creating, that many records I can store. And remember here, okay, as many record you have to store, that many object you have to compulsory create. You have to compulsory create. Otherwise, okay, you cannot store the record. Okay, here 103. I'm just writing a jam. Okay, and I do have the 75 here. Okay, it is the employee 3 only. Okay, and in this one I do have the emp3 dot employee id, emp3 dot employee name, emp3 dot salary and control yes. So with this program, basically I try to create the three object and displayed here. Okay, I have not called the display there, and that is the reason it is not getting. If you want to call the display for that, okay, we can just simply call, okay, over here only. If I have to call the display, okay, I think after at the last only emp3 dot display. This is the method, so we'll call like this one. Okay, exactly same here too. After this one I can just write emp2 dot display. So for emp1 separately I'm calling the display, for emp2 separately I'm calling the display, and for the emp3 too I'm calling the separately the display method. And that is the reason, okay, you will get the output which is expected over here. Okay, this is by we are getting exactly after executing this. So I can see, or you can see here, okay, first record 101 ram 60. Okay, and before that one, that display thrice. Okay, that three statement will be get displayed. Then after displaying the second record 102 sham 65, okay, that displays get called, and that three statement which we have added, okay, that will be get displayed. Then here in a display one, okay, 123, okay, third record will be get displayed. Yes. So this is basically how exactly the object will be get created. Okay, how exactly the memory will be get allocated inside the heap, okay, inside the stack, and how we are going to access the data members compulsory by using a object name with a dot operator. Object name with a dot operator and the member name, that can be a data member or that can be a member function or the method. Okay, by using that one, okay, we are trying to display it. So this understanding related to your Java programming, your classes and object is very necessary to go ahead with the programming. Okay, hope you understood this. If everyone here understood this, you can just put here message in the chat understood. So I can understand that yes, all you are here and listening me very patiently. Okay, and you are very serious about your learning. Yes, yes, I can say Priyanka, Swati, Rohit, okay, Siddesh, yes, Kashmira, Sneha. Your attendance also marked. Okay. 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 Good. Swati joined from the two places. Okay. Those are here. Hope everyone have filled the form. Okay. It is compulsory so that you will get the communication and other things too. Okay. So I want you all should have the fill the form. Okay. Good. Thank you, Diksha, Twinkle, Farendra. Yes. Great. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is how basically, okay, we can try. So you can try with a different object. So tomorrow I want you guys have tried. Okay, you can take the example of account. Okay, in that one, account number, account name, balance. Okay, some functions you can write. Okay, and in that one, another function you can write deposit or the withdraw. You can try, and then in a main you can create the at least three object of the account and try to observe what exactly it is doing. Okay, so I want employee object should be, sorry, you, I want account object, okay, with at least 4 5 data members, and at least two method, deposit and withdraw. You try. Okay, and just you can just put there into the WhatsApp, okay, your file, or you can show me at the runtime in the session. Okay, so we can understand. Okay, so this is what the assignment for you. Okay, assignments are very important to get the certificate. So you have to compulsory complete the assignment. Okay, you have to show me, then only you will be eligible for the certificate. Understand this. Okay, and it's a request to all, please share our that fab workshop or the 10 days session which we are going to conduct to your friend, so that all that they can register. Okay, ask them to register, and also I put it in the chat that okay, you can just put everything on your WhatsApp group or your WhatsApp status, as well as Facebook and the Insta, so that we'll get that one. And I think okay, yesterday many of you have put it, and that is the reason okay, I got the few more registrations on that too. Okay, and those have not okay visited the YouTube channel, okay, already you have the link. Please go through that. There are so many videos, okay, related to the programming, even advanced as well as the core. Okay, if you want to learn more related in that sense, you can go there. And if you are visiting there, if you like that one, so you can just subscribe the channel. Okay, yes, so thank you so much for the day. Okay, we'll stop here. See you in tomorrow's session. If you have any questions, I will be here for the 2 minutes. You can put here in the chat or you can ask. Thank you so much. You are the audience, nice audience. Okay, thank you so much for your responses. But please, please pass message to all your friends. It's important. Yeah, thank you so much. If you have any question, you can ask. You can put here in the chat too if you have anything to say. Okay, assignment question Priyanka is saying. Priyanka, just it is the account account class you have to create. Okay, and it should have the few fields related to the account. You can just R&D. Okay, and but at least deposit and a withdraw method should be there. Okay, so try that. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Priyanka. Recording, Farendra, not sure, because okay, while creating these sessions, okay, through my platform, uh, I'm not sure whether it will be get saved or not. Okay, so I'm just checking that. Okay, and will make you available if it is there. Okay, just stay here till the last day. Okay, so that that can be accessible to you all. I have make the change there into the okay platform, but I'm not sure whether I will get that. Yes, thank you so much. I will put the assignment question on the in the chat. Okay, WhatsApp group. You try that. Yes, Diksha. Any other question, any other doubt? No? Okay, so we are good to close. Thank you so much.